Hello. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Emily Stewart with Emily Stewart Fitness, big surprise. And today's class is a snowboarding class for the day after or the week after you eat shit. Depending on how big your fall is. All you need is a yoga mat or soft ground below you. You don't need any yoga experience. The only thing is that you need to have wiped out while you were skiing or snowboarding and be seriously sore now and really wondering if you're ever going to be capable of moving well again. The answer is yes, and this class will help you. So find your mat and let's get going. So let's start on the ground. So I'm not exactly sure what part of your body has been hurt recently. For me, I was trying to, fool around in the park. I was doing very well, actually, nailing a lot of cool new tricks. And I went way up and over a ramp and face planted on the other side. So I've got some neck and some arm issues. So right now as you lay here, bring your knees together and your feet wide and consider what your last injury, what your last fall was. Maybe you didn't have an acute fall. Maybe you just are sore from a lot of effort. And notice where that spot is on your body, and rather than try to fix it, just notice it. In yoga, we would say something like, breathe into it, which actually is true. The idea is that we're not here to make the pain go away, but we're actually here to listen to the pain. Sometimes if we try to ignore problems and we don't treat them, and if we try to make them get better faster, it will exacerbate the problem. So in yoga, we practice listening to the problem. We really hear it. We don't necessarily try to change it, but we do try to show it support, right? And that's what we're doing now here today. Now, allow your knees to open and your feet to open. Bring your hands above your head and begin to rock your knees from side to side. My God, my back just popped so loud. Now, depending on your injury, you might need to change this class today. Maybe you can't bring your arms over your head, or maybe only one arm goes over your head. That's fine. You do what you gotta do to keep moving in a way that best supports your having totally wiped out recently. Your post-wipeout body. And now come back to the center. Bring your feet in line with the center of your glutes, one heel, one booty. Plant your hands by your sides, and as you exhale, slowly roll your hips up to the sky. And then inhale, roll the hips back down, winding through your spine. This is called a bridge pose. Exhale, roll the hips up, tuck the chin in. Inhale, wind down vertebra by vertebra. Try to get each part of the spine onto the ground and then off. And in every movement here today, we're gonna notice how our injury reacts, and we're using this as data so that we can better determine how to move for the rest of our day off of our mat. Now raise the hips up to the sky, interlace your hands underneath your hips, squeeze your shoulders together, press your heels down. Stretch the front of the chest. Keep the knees directly over the heels Press the fingers down and lengthen the back of the neck. This is such an important pose to releasing the fronts of our hips, right? Our hip flexors work a lot in snowboarding. Give it another breath here. And now separate your hands and slowly roll down. Excellent. So take your knees all the way up to your chest, hold them tight. This will stretch the lower back now, basically the opposite of what we just did. Keep your knees very close to your body. Open your arms out to the sides in a cactus shape or just wide. Bring both knees to the left. While there, take your left hand over your right knee. So you're keeping a really tiny twisted position here. Knees are all the way to the chest. Look towards your right hand. And now come back into the center. Switch sides, knees really close to chest, over to the right. Right hand over left knee. This isn't actually really a yoga pose per se, but it is a great physical therapy pose for lower back pain. I tend to integrate mobility training and physical therapy into my yoga because really we need a lot of different forms of movement in order to become more flexible or healthier. Bring both knees back to the center. Good. And now send both feet up to the sky. Point and flex those feet. Bring your hands over your head. Good. Roll the ankles in some circles. It feels so nice after snowboarding and skiing to bring your legs up like this, doesn't it? Yes. Switch. Good. Bring the left knee to the armpit, send the right leg long, and then hold the left knee in really close. So we're compressing that hip quite a lot. Lower back is flat on the ground. I always notice after a long day snowboarding, even if I ride switch, one of my hips is just always so much tighter than the other. So we're gonna try to loosen up that today. Take the toe underneath the thigh, pull the knee across the body, and then open the opposite arm out to the side. Another twist here. In snowboarding, we twist so often, but we typically, use one side of the body more than the other for the twist. So twisting in yoga class can help to undo those patterns that might create pain. Come to the very middle. Let the knee open to the side. So now you're laying down here in a tree pose. This is a simple pose. I sometimes like to press my hand to my knee and open up the hips slightly more. And I know after a long day snowboarding, this feels like such a release. And now bring the knee up, send the leg long, and let's switch sides. Right knee to right armpit. So in German, you say armpit. The word for armpit is Achsel or Axel. So the name of the musician Axl Rose is Armpit Rose. Your armpits smell like roses. Knee goes under the thigh, pull the knee across the body, look toward the hand, supine twist. And now come into the center. Open out to the side again like your tree pose. Oh yeah. Notice if one knee falls closer to the ground than the other. That knee probably has a little bit more mobility than the other, or the hip, excuse me, has more mobility. And now bring your knee up. Okay, I think we gotta get some more movement. What do you think? I think we're ready. So, open the knees, open the feet. Draw a big circle with circles with the knees. Good. Don't worry, this will not be an intense yoga class. It's rehab. Circle the knees in the opposite direction. Good. Great. Now bring the knees to the chest, tuck the chin, head toward the knees, rock and roll up to a seat for butterfly pose. Bottom of feet together, knees go wide. We'll start by bringing the feet very close. Interlace your hands around the toes. Inhale, lift the chest up, and exhale, bend the elbows towards the legs. So this is a great way to reset the lower back after it's worked, more in one direction than the other. One more breath here. Also, great ankle stretch. Good. And now come all the way up to the center. Bring your hands to your knees. And now open the feet as wide as the mat. Here's another mobility training. Keeping your body seated up tall, drop one knee to the center and then drop the other knee to the center. Oh, so this is gonna help reset the hips, right? One hip is typically inward facing, the other is typically outward facing or internally and externally rotated in yoga. So we gotta do stuff like this to help those hips kind of find their center point. Final time. And now up. Now staying nice and close, feet to hips. Reach the fingers back and roll the pinky fingers into the center with the thumbs out, and then try to puff up the chest. A lot of us spend our snowboarding time kind of like bent over, trying to go faster down the hill, maybe not standing fully upright. So opening the front of the body is an important part of your snowboard recovery. Maybe opening the neck. To get your fingers as close together as you can here. And if it's quite easy and you're not getting a stretch, then move your feet and then your butt forward. Oh yeah, that'll get it. One more breath. And now release the hands. Turn your hands to face your glutes. Move the glutes back into the center. Feet in line with hips for altar pose. Raise your hips up. Fingers face your heels. Open your neck. It can be so nice to move the body weight to the arms after snowboarding. One more breath here. And release. Excellent. Okay, so now we'll turn to the side of the mat. Take one foot forward and the other foot backward for a mer person position. Again, hips, knees, ankles reset. Lean over to one side. And now come to center. Lean over to the other side. And center. Exhale over. Inhale, center. Exhale over. Inhale, center. Good. Now, you have, actually first let's go forward. Changing my mind. Oh yeah, this just feels nice. Now come all the way up. Good. And you have one leg forward. Slide that leg underneath the other leg and then lay down on your side. Bring your hands in front of your chest and lay your head on the ground. From here, we'll open our shoulders. So as you inhale, bring the arm over your head. Open your chest. Watch the hand as it goes behind your body. And then exhale back to where it started. Again, inhale, arm overhead. Open. Exhale over the glutes. Back to the front. One more time. Inhale, arm overhead. open, over the glutes and back. And we'll do 3 rounds in the other direction. Keep the head on the ground as the hand passes the glutes. When it's in the mid-back, turn to look at it and do that again. Hand over glutes, behind, back, gaze toward fingers. One more round. Hand over glutes, gaze back, overhead. Yes, good. Now take the hand, bring it in front of your shoulder. Take the other hand backward. So now your torso is turned away from the knees. Inhale, puff up the chest, and you'll get a big stretch through the obliques on the down side. I find that my neck and shoulders sometimes feel tight after snowboarding, especially after I wipe out. Again, because they're usually kind of held in one position isometrically, looking downhill. So stretching that region feels so good. Okay, this is my favorite. Lay down, open your arms out to 2 90-degree angles, and then look away from your knees. So turn your head in the opposite direction as your knees. If you're a girl and you have boobies, you might want to lift those boobies up and reset them. That can help. And now hands under your shoulders, lift your chest all the way up, and we'll switch to the other side. So we find our mer person position with the opposite foot forward. Sitting up tall, let's wind through it a bit. Inhale one side. And now exhale the other. Inhale, center, and now exhale. My bad. Messing up the breath here. And center. One more time to the side. And center. Let's take a forward fold. Your hands can help pull you down here. And continue to keep the glutes as close to the ground as possible. And now come all the way up. Okay, we'll do that shoulder circle for this side. So take your bottom knee underneath your top knee. Lay down on the ground, hands in front of the chest. I call this a pancake position. Yummy. And now we'll wind the circle. So relax your arm like you're moving through water. Hand comes over the head, behind the upper back, over the hip and thigh, center, again, overhead, behind, upper back, over hip and thigh. One more round, overhead, behind, back, hip, thigh, and let's switch directions. Keep your head on the ground until the hand goes behind the mid-back. And then bring it over. I could do this all day. Good. One more round. Good. Okay, let's twist it up. Above hand in front of nose, under hand, all the way under. Turn the torso to look away from the knees. Finding an arch in the spine. I call this the Little Mermaid pose. You know, after she loses her voice and she comes onto the rock and she's sitting looking towards humanity. and then she just gets bitch slapped by a wave. You remember that part? Lay the chest down, open your arms out to the sides, 90 degrees, and then look away from your knees. Yes, please. Bring your hands under your shoulders, lift all the way up. And from here, we go to tabletop position. So bring the knees under the hips, spread out the hands wide to support the wrists, press all the skin into the ground. As you inhale, lift your chest for cow. Exhale, pull your belly button in for cat. And keep going through some cats and cows. Try not to. Last two. Last one. And now find a spot right in the center. So we'll thread the needle now. Another twist for the upper back. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, slide it under the right. We'll do two more like this. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, slide it under the right, bending right elbow. One more time. Inhale up, and now we'll rest here. Left ear on the ground. Right arm reaches over your head. Hand presses into the ground. Shoulders pull back towards the thoracic spine. Now bring the right hand under the shoulder. Bring the left arm up to the sky. Kick your right foot back and open to the side for a modified side plank. Look up towards your left thumb. So if you hurt your neck, of course, you don't need to do that, but it is a really good practice to practice looking over a different shoulder than you normally do when you're snowboarding at your normal stance. So if you just snowboarded and you rode normal most of the day, if you look up to your thumb, the opposite shoulder as usual, you'll be like, oh, maybe that's happening right now. Reach the arm all the way over the head, big side bend, and then slide the hand back down. Let's go to the other side. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, thread the needle under left. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, thread the needle under left. One more. Right arm up. Thread under left. Bring your right ear to the ground. Slide your left arm up over your head. Press your left hand down. Nice. And now release. Left hand comes in front of nose. Unwind. Raise the right arm up. Kickstand the left foot and reach the right leg long. Hold here. Try to look up to the right side of the body. You can also relax the neck once and then try to look back up. Couple more rounds of breaths. Keep your tailbone slightly tucked here so you feel like your ribs and your hips are stacked symmetrically. And now reach the right arm all the way over the head, big side bend, and slide it down to the ground. Send both feet back and lift up into your downward dog pose. Walk one knee and the other knee and keep doing that. I gotta take this guy off. Okay. Bring your feet to a still position and then open them wider. You might move your hands closer to your feet here. Take your right arm underneath your body to your left and then look up underneath your left armpit. Good. Try to keep your heels pressed to the ground. This is gonna be the ankle stretch you need. And now switch. Right hand to the ground. Left hand goes under right. Look up under right armpit. Loosening up the tissues along the back of the body. And now both hands come forward. Bend your knees, look towards your fingers, and move your feet outside your fingers for a yogi squat. Sitting down nice and deep. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So your heels might be lifted right now. That's okay. They might be up, they might be down, they might be having to move around. That's fine. But this is a symmetrical squat, quite different than our stance in snowboarding, much lower. Great opener to the hips. Beautiful reset for the spine. The feet are closer together probably too than your typical snowboard stance. And now hands come to the ground. As you inhale, lift your butt straight up in the air. Point your toes towards your wrists, and then with the knees as straight as possible, hang out here. Probably you don't straighten your knees much in snowboarding, and it's pretty good, dang good if you don't. There is a lot of forward folding going on though, but I find that it feels more like a deadlift at the end of the day. So this deep forward fold, a deeper hip flexion, a deeper opening of the backs of the legs can be so helpful. Relax your hands, bend your knees, and slowly roll up, vertebra by vertebra, coming to standing, shoulders up, back, and down. Yes, okay, let's bring the feet all the way together, completely connected, and we'll go through sun salutation A, open up a bit in the front of the body. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, curve your spine. Give it a good, deep, slow, round curve down. Inhale, hands to shins, half lift. This is a flat back position. And as you exhale, fold down. Inhale, bend your knees, step your right leg and your left leg back, coming to your plank pose. And now exhale, drop your knees down, look forward, and then lower your chest and your chin to the ground. Toenails on the ground. Inhale, push gently up for a low cobra position. The ribs are still on the ground. Exhale, lower. Flex your feet. As you inhale, push onto your knees, going up to half plank. Exhale, downward dog. Step the feet slightly toward the hands, ever so slightly. Take a few breaths here. I always feel like I take down dog for granted until I'm injured. And then down dog is always just a pose that, you know, is enlightening and challenging. Bend the knees, look forward. Take as many steps as you need to the top of your space, feet together. On inhale, half lift, flat back. On exhale, forward fold down. As you inhale, soften your knees, stand all the way up, look up, and again, exhale, curve your spine. So that's atypical in yoga, the curved spine. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step left and right foot back. Inhale, onto tiptoes. Exhale, knees, chin, and chest to the ground. Inhale, low cobra, not forcing it. exhale, back down. Inhale, press onto your knees. Exhale, downward dog, breathe. I like to roll the spine in yoga. That's more of a Pilates style. Mostly actually to counteract the kind of stiff back lifting and lowering that happens quite often in snowboarding. I tend to get lower back pain, and rolling down and into a forward fold is much better for it than jerking around. Bend the knees, look forward. Many steps as you need, left and right to the top of your space. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, soften the knees, raise the arms up, and then keeping your hands together, exhale, lean to the right. Ooh, inhale up. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale up. Exhale, twist open to the right, hips stay forward. Inhale up. Exhale, twist open to the left. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the elbows, cactus your arms, lean back. Inhale up. And now exhale, do the flat back, pull the belly in, reach all the way forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift like before. Exhale, bend the knees, step the right foot back for a crescent lunge pose. So right heel is above the right toes. And then as you inhale, raise up, maybe curving the spine into crescent lunge. So crescent lunge is a balance pose because the right heel is above the right toes. It's not the same as warrior one. Just remember that. Good. One more breath here. As you inhale, open into your warrior two position. Make sure the right toes are turned a little bit inward like your snowboard stance. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, bend that knee. Keep doing that while your shoulders stay above your hips, and make sure that your right foot stays against the ground the whole time. One more time here and pause. Try to square your hips to the side of your mat. This is warrior two, but after snowboarding, it feels like warrior 5065. It feels intense. Breathe into it. Now flip your left hand, and as you inhale, reverse warrior for a couple of breaths. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Right hand is light on the right knee or above or below it. And now as you exhale, bring your left elbow to your left thigh, palm up. Reach your right arm over your head for a deep side angle pose. Try to keep the right foot flat on the ground. Sink the hips low. I know they're tired. I know they're talking to you, but we're doing good things way deep. Things that need to be done, trust me. One more breath. Now as you exhale, lift your right heel up again, land your right hand on the ground, lift your left arm up for a simple twist. Then take the left hand behind the back, try to clip it to your right hip, and then relax your neck. Now place the left hand on the ground, lower your right knee down, drop your right toenails, squeeze the booty, lift the chest up, hand to the left thigh. Now is even deeper low lunge. Again, if you're injured, these poses might not look the same for you. You might need to make things smaller, take things slower. Good for you. Do what you gotta do. As you inhale, raise both arms up over your head, palms are together, maybe lean into it, hips say yes please. And And on exhale, right elbow crosses to left leg in a twist position. I like to wrap my left hand around my right fist here and look over my left shoulder. One more breath. On inhale, raise arms up, lean back. Exhale, both hands come down. Oh, lift up your right leg, step your left leg back. And now if you are not injured in the shoulders or the elbows or anything, do chaturanga without your knees. Otherwise, use your knees. Slowly lower down to the ground. And this time we open our feet up wide. Hands are slightly wider. And then inhale, lift your chest up real high. Toenails on the ground. Open your neck up. Something weird and awesome is to take your bottom lip over your top lip. And exhale, slowly lower down. Yes. Hands come underneath shoulders without or with the knees. Lift up to plank and then downward dog. Take a couple breaths in downward dog. Bring your awareness back to the injury if you have it, or your general aches and pains. Listen to them for a moment. No judgment. And now bend the knees, look forward. Step, or if you're in the mood, float, which sometimes I feel like is easier. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now with your legs totally together, sit down to your chair pose. Pull your belly in, bring your hands to your heart. I want us to do this even though our legs are already tired from snowboarding, but this really helps to reset kind of the hips, squeezing the knees and feet together, finding a tight little squat position. One more breath. And now stand. Go ahead. Take a couple breaths here. We call this pose Tadasana. Tadasana. Let's go to the other side. Inhale, arms up overhead, hands together. Exhale, lean to the left to start. Inhale up. Exhale, lean to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze shoulders, mini back bend. Inhale up. Exhale, dive forward. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, step your left leg back, left heel over knee, and inhale into crescent lunge. What did I say? Left heel over toes, not knee. Heel over knee is impossible. That's a good example of yoga brain. It's a real thing. Even instructors get it. Sink slightly lower. Next, inhale, drop the left heel down, open to warrior two. The left toes are a little bit inward. Even out your ankles and start to surf, as I call it. This is a great way to reset the hip. If you find your hips do bother you during snowboarding, try to bend and straighten your knees a couple times. And now hold in your warrior two, shoulders stacked over the hips. Good. Keep the knee open, directly over the ankle. Left foot planted on the ground. One more breath. Flip the right hand, and as you inhale, reverse warrior two. Right shoulder on top of left shoulder. Rib cage moves back. Maybe looking up underneath your elbow. Inhale, warrior two. As you exhale, right elbow on the right thigh, left arm up and over, very long. Left toes pressed to the ground. Oh, I needed this. Sink lower, one more breath. Now, bring your left hand to the ground as you lift your left heel up, and then raise your right arm up to the sky in a twist, looking toward the right hand. Then slide it underneath the left thigh or hip, and let the left ear move toward the left shoulder. On inhale, raise the right arm up and then set it down on the ground. Lower the left knee, lower the left toenails, pull the abs in and bring the hand all the way to the right thigh. Ooh, this low lunge. Try to pull the left hip forward ever so slightly. You'll feel a better stretch in the left hip flexor. Is anyone's hip just like screaming right now? Inhale, left arm up. Cross it over the right thigh for a twist. Right hand over left fist. Look over right shoulder. A slightly engaged core will help here. One more breath. And now come to the center. Both hands come down. Lift up the left knee. Step the right foot back. We lower slowly, using knees or not, depending on how we feel. And at the bottom, one more time, open the legs wide. Hands slightly wide. And as you inhale, lift the chest. If you'd like to do a little bit of a reset and up level, bring your feet together behind you. I tend to find this is pretty exciting after snowboarding to completely open my hip flexors, to use the back of my legs in a contracted position instead of an extended position. I'm shaking now. One more breath. And release all the way down. Yes, okay, stay here. Move the feet closer together. Send the left arm out to a cactus shape, but be careful. If that's too intense, just straighten your arm instead. Lift your right foot up, roll over onto the left side of your body, left ear on the mat. Ooh, stretch out that side of your chest. And now come to the center and let's switch to the other side. So right arm to cactus or long, left toe to the sky, and then left toe rolls over the back of the body, creating some shoulder and chest mobility, also some opening in the hips. Sometimes my muscles shake here at the stretch. It's a good sign, but breath is highly necessary in that moment. And now release, come to the center. Very nice. Hands underneath shoulders, flex your feet, push your bum directly over your knees and stop there. Reach your hands all the way forward for an extended puppy dog pose. Maybe your chin is on the ground. And now slide your hands in. We're gonna find our warrior one for our final standing pose, because I think it's one of the best ways to get deep into those post-snowboard hips. So downward dog right now. On inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Bend your right knee, and kind of like we did with our shoulders, draw circles, 3 in one direction, and 3 in the other direction. And now kick the right leg up, slide it through to your right thumb. Open your left heel on the diagonal, so quite a tight diagonal, more than snowboarding, and then lift up for warrior one. So for the calves, this is golden, am I right? Try to get your front leg parallel to the ground. And now exhale, both hands come down. Lift your left heel, step back, find your downward dog again. I won't make you do any more chaturangas. Inhale, left leg to the sky, bend the left knee, open the hips, draw big circles, keeping your upper body still. After 3 circles, switch the direction. Good. Kick that leg right up. Bring it to your left thumb. Slide your right heel down on the diagonal. Pull the abs in. Raise the arms up. There we go. So it's so important to work the body asymmetrically when you snowboard. And when you ski, you know, it's gonna help undo the patterns of, you know, favoritism. One leg forward, one leg's always the stopping leg, one leg's always the turning leg, one leg's the push. It'll help even that stuff out. So poses like these yoga poses that are asymmetrical, that's exactly what you need. And both hands come down to the ground. Good. So this time we step forward. Feet are touching. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more chair pose. Arms reach up this time. Knees together, ankles together. Try to peel your toes off the ground. Pull your belly in. One more breath, sit the glutes back. And now mobility test, and given your injuries, be careful. Try to bring your booty all the way down to the ground, your chest on your thighs. Wrap your hands around your elbows, yes. Inhale, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, pull the belly button to your spine. Bring your head towards your knees. Enjoy this back stretch. Now sit up nice and tall. Like we did earlier, we start by bringing one knee forward here, but now we're gonna go to pigeon. So we slide the other leg back behind us, sit up on those hips. One leg is at a bent angle in front of us, the knee is out on the side of the mat. Stay here for a moment, opening the chest. And next, sleep your pigeon. If your knee is injured, I suggest not laying on your knee, just keeping your body more upright. This is one of the only ways we can stretch out our sartorius muscle, connecting our knees and our hips and our back. One more breath. Lift the chest up and let's switch. So lift the back knee, bring the front knee to the back and switch, bringing the knee forward into a pigeon. So different way of getting into it. Just remember which one feels best for you for later classes. I like to rock it for a moment. Rock that pigeon, rock the pigeon, rock the pigeon. And then sleep like a little baby. I wish I could sleep in pigeon pose. I would probably wake up feeling great. And now lift all the way up. Good. Slide onto the front hip. Slide the back leg forward. Bring both knees to the front, and we're gonna roll down and lay here for a little while. So roll back vertebra by vertebra. If you have a lower back injury, keep your knees bent and together with your feet wide. If you're feeling good, then extend your feet long, palms face up by your sides for Shavasana. We won't be here very long, but we will be here long enough to remind ourselves of how we started. We started by acknowledging a sore body, potentially a body in pain, by committing to listening to that space and breathing into it without judgment. And now as we lay here, hopefully feeling a little bit better, we'll bring our awareness back to that breath-body connection for a moment of silence. Inhale real deep and exhale even deeper. Wiggle your fingers and toes, bring some life back into that corpse pose. Bend one knee at a time. Raise one arm over your head and relax it. Roll over to that side and take a moment here to set an intention to keep snowboarding, to keep skiing, to keep active, with a promise always to listen to your body and always to take care of yourself when your body needs it. Press up to a seat, one foot on top of the other thigh, if you can, doesn't matter. Sit in whatever way is comfortable. Let's take a breath together. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Give yourself a bow. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this class, please make sure that you click the like button. And then if you want more classes like this, click the subscribe button and ring the little bell. I put up a new class every Wednesday, mostly. Sometimes we miss it, but mostly. Now, get back snowboarding as soon as you can. Then this is the class for you. This is a partial row